what you write.
Art. That's my one word, man. It's art.
It's an underrated form of art.
Gave me a voice in the city.
I would say relief.
Just art.
Some would say just expression. Some would say creativity. Some might say living. But really, for us, it's grounded in writing. We are writers. That's what we call ourselves. That's what we do. First of all, graffiti is a mark on a surface, right? Then the urban graffiti that we have experienced in the last 50 years that came from Philadelphia and New York City and other inner city areas was a venue for young people to express themselves through vandalism, putting their names up, getting props, recognition, and fame for that. And then once you have once you have like skills based on spray painting, then you could take it further. It was tagging that made it possible for me to learn how to paint a butterfly, right? Or to be able to paint any language, because all languages are the same. They're built on a line and on curves, right? So that means you could go anywhere in the world and paint if you know how to do graffiti. So back to the history of it, in Chicago, it had always been here, but in different forms. People used rollers and paintbrushes back in the day. Old school gangbangers, the OGs used to use rollers to put their names up. When graffiti came from New York, then people began to use spray paint to put their names up. And then it evolved from the tag into the wild style lettering that we know of today and the productions that we paint.
You know, like when you were a kid growing up in Chicago during that time, and it's still like this today, I don't think that's changed so much. Like, you pretty much know which gang is in the neighborhood by looking at the walls. So what happened was that the gangsters were claiming neighborhoods, you know, and when New York City graffiti came about, it was all about getting out of your neighborhood. Like, you didn't want to be the guy that wrote his name all over your neighborhood. You wanted to be the guy that was writing your name all over the city.
It depends what you write, you know? Like, I guess if you write like gang signs or, you know, stuff like that, it does make it look bad, but I mean, this is like drawings, it's art. I mean, look at that and look at this. It takes a lot of talent to do this.
The difference between gang graffiti and art graffiti is that gang graffiti is more of vandalizing, possession over territory, and it's not for any emotion into it. It's just saying, this is mine, this is who we are, you know, and it's vandalizing, you know. It has no feeling into it. It has no purpose.
One of the hugest, most beautiful things that ever happened to me was becoming a graffiti writer, because it got me off the block. I mean, a lot of the guys that I grew up with, a lot of guys that I was friends with from the time I was like 5, 6 years old, you know, they got caught up in that gang stuff, and they could not walk 3 blocks east, you know, west, north, south without fear of, you know, getting their head split open, right?
You know, our community here suffers, man, from segregation, from racist housing policies that have made it so that ownership is difficult here. So there's too many dilapidated structures around. So what should you do with that? Just leave them brown or whack or, you know, damaged? No, we want to bring some color to it. So the objective is basically to bring color to the community and beautify and transform it by painting these walls.
Well, I see my man painting, it stuck out to me because, like I said, I really don't see this in my community a lot, especially from back in the days to now. But it's a new way to express yourself. It's hot. It stands out in the community. It makes you wonder, like, who did it and how could I get involved. So it's what's up, man. It just picks your brain and actually makes you see that it's more out here than just partying for entertainment or to express yourself, or gangs and drugs and all that. You can draw, you can do art around the community, express your feelings on the wall or something.
When we painted this wall, we had like 15 kids for a summer program, and we painted the largest mural in the city, but it was a graffiti production. It was all real graffiti, real burners, telling the truth, like we did the police officers, a pig, and, you know, chasing after kids and stuff. That really changed how I realized, like, man, this really affects our community in a positive way. Because all those kids would go by and they'd be like, I painted that. I painted that. This was my idea. This was my idea. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. I would like to do this more.
I think that if you know how to do art, do graffiti, then you should do it because it's something that has to do with emotion, about how you feel, about how things are probably going in your life. Basically, if you use a dark color, that means something bad. If you use a light color, it means something good. I think art, graffiti, all that is just a fun thing to do. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about graffiti or art.
Art graffiti is more of a, this is what the world is, this is what it has come to, this is what we're doing, and this is what we want. You know, it's just someone's feelings into a canvas and just showing that the world isn't right, or just showing how their mind is going. Something that can't be said and can't be understood and just seen through one's hands.
It's more like a type of expression, I would say. Yeah, like, you know, people have like certain ways of expressing themselves. Then we express themselves through art. So it'd be like politics and art, let's say go hand in hand, you know? It's like representing us and what we have to say. But we don't have a word, you know, they don't take our word, so might as well show them, right?